So Cyril, in terms of buying property and acquiring property, how flexible are you in doing that? Are you sort of a one strategy sort of man, or do you like to use different ways and methods of buying property?
Well, I wouldn't term myself as a one strategy man, because it's like if you send a gas man to fix some faults in one of your properties and he turns up and says, well, I know what the problem is, but I only use hammers and you need a saw for this. It makes sense for you to always have a number of different tools. So when I look at a property deal or a property problem, I always think of what's the best tool to solve the problem at hand. Whether it be lease options, a straightforward purchase, a delayed completion, there's all sorts of tools out there. As long as you know how to use those tools, you're best equipped to solve the problem.
And have you any examples of properties where you've had to sort of use more than one or two tools in the tool bag, so to speak?
For most of the properties that I purchase, actually, I use a combination of tools. So I bought a commercial building, only about 2,300 square foot, just down the road from where we are now. And I had to use a combination of tools to acquire that. So at first I thought it was going to be quite a straightforward purchase, but I soon realised that the purchase was going to take a bit longer because of issues with the title. So I first had to convince the seller that they would allow me to use an option, or put an option on the property. That ended up being a lease option for 12 months, which gave me the time that I needed to put together a proper formula to buy the property. I then realised that half of the back of the land that was attached to the property was not actually registered at land registry, and I had to then convince the seller to sort of sort out that mess, which took quite a lot of time too. So he had to actually do adverse possession on his own property, which was quite interesting. You can imagine trying to convince the lenders that they should still lend on a property that the owner doesn't actually own a certain amount of. Then I also realised that the 4 flats above the property, it was a commercial building with 4 flats above, it was actually on a flying freehold. So the top part of the property, when I thought I was buying a 3-storey building with 2,300 square foot on the ground floor, I was really only buying 2,300 square foot on the ground floor, with the top 2 floors being owned under a flying freehold by a ground company. So I had to then go back to the lender again and try and convince them that that wasn't going to be a problem. It did take about 9 months to end up purchasing that property, but we got there in the end. And I think the lender really appreciated the fact that I was persistent and I kept them informed every step of the way. And I just let them know that whatever problem occurred, I was able to do what it takes, or what it took, or what was needed, in order to find a solution to resolve each issue as they came up.